Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me fix my lights. It is Morning Matters. Hello, it is 6:33 and it's a special day for me, I guess. It is the 49th time that I have traveled around this sun, this star of ours back behind me. I'm not sure what time I was born. I think I was born in the morning. So we're almost there. And this is a special edition of Morning Matters. It's the beginning of the year for me, my personal year. And it's funny when I every time people have birthdays, I don't usually just write happy birthday. I usually will write to them, congratulations on another successful trip around our star. And I hope this time around is your best one yet. That's usually what I will write, on the Facebooks and I'm old Facebook, right? and yeah, and just to remind people that that's what it is. That's what's going on. We're just on this rock traveling around this burning ball of fire. I don't even. It's not really fire, is it? It's plasma. But yeah, it's cool, and it's fun that every person, this is like a day that we make special for people, and we take the time to just recognize, just birthdays should be really just recognizing what has happened, recognizing your past, appreciating everything that you've done, and that you are still here, you are still a part of life. And so that is my celebration today, and I'm starting that celebration off with the in the right way with you guys. This is what I want to do. I actually sat down a couple of weeks ago and I was like, what do I really want to do? Because, I've been doing a bunch of different jobs, and as you get older, you start reflecting on what not only what you've done, but what's the future going to look like? What are we doing in the future? And I said, if I hit the lottery, if I won $1 million, what would I do? And or I would with inflation, it would have to be $1 billion, right? So, but what would I do? And I said I would probably just talk with people and share stories and try to encourage people. One of my favorite things to do is I watch one of my. If you actually want to see me kind of messed up a little bit, sit with me and watch a Restaurant Impossible. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that show, Restaurant Impossible, but with Robert Irvine, and they just basically go into a restaurant that's these people who are failing, and the food's usually bad and the place usually isn't clean, and they're wrapped up in their own they're wrapped up in their own situation because it's so bad. Oh, this is really cathartic for me to actually. It's interesting that I just brought this up. Hey, good morning. Good morning, Renee. Thank you for joining Morning Matters, my first super fan. So, but I was just talking about Restaurant Impossible and how these people are wrapped up in what's going on in their little world, and they're doing it all wrong, right? They can't even see how dirty the place is. They can't even see that the food is sucks. Like they can't even see. Yes, thank you for the happy birthday wish. I appreciate it. They can't see past their own situation, right? And this happens with everyone, with people. We get so wrapped up in our bubble, and it's so funny. It's easy for us to look from outside at other people's problems and say, just don't do that, right? It's easy to see someone who is struggling in some way, whether it's some kind of addiction, whether it's they're in a bad relationship, whether it's how they're managing money, whether it's how they're living their life. And it's easy for someone, and if they're struggling, it's easy if you don't have that situation. It's not something until like for me, like I'm like I see people, like someone who's like, let's say, an alcoholic. I don't drink out. Like I mean, I drink occasionally, very occasionally. I'll go out and have a drink or two. But for people who like, I have to drink, I don't understand that mentality. So it's easy for me to be just like, well, just don't drink. Like, just what's the big deal? Go out, have a good time, and don't have a drink. But someone would look at my situation and go, well, just don't do that. Whatever it is that you're doing, it's we all have our own mini struggles going on, our own mini lives, our own demons, if you want to call them demons. But life, as I talked about yesterday, is about um it's about challenges. It's about having problems. It's about overcoming those problems. It's about dealing with them. If everything was perfect, if everything went the way you wanted to, it would be a boring life. So the idea is, how do you overcome it? I think I was listening to a Joe Rogan show once, and I think he said, something in there. It was like, this make it like today you could be the part of the movie where they finally make the decision to turn their life around, and they start doing this and exercising, and you get the montage. He's like, that could be you. That's you anytime you choose to do it. And and every morning we get another chance. We get another chance to say, okay, like, that's it. Like, I'm changing. I was actually, so funny. I was talking to my friend Jessica, and she was so funny. All these things are pulling into my head. And she had a history of a series of not good boyfriends. Let's just put it that way, right? And she was funny. We were just driving, and she was telling me she went through. I didn't say your life was boring. I'm just saying everybody has their own things. But no life is boring, by the way. Every story is something the universe wants to hear. So the but the point is, she went from like bad boyfriend to bad boyfriend to bad boyfriend, and abusive people, and then now she's with someone who is not. And she's telling me, like, a friend asked her, like, what happened? Like, why did this person is like, now she's with this person who's, completely treating her great. Thank you so much. I love for the birthday shout out. So there's another one coming. But, and it was funny. I don't even know what brought on this conversation, because I didn't bring it up. But she goes, there was no big fight. There was no big this or that happened. There was nothing. She's like, I just said to myself, I don't want to do this anymore. And then I just stopped. It's pretty crazy, right? Like, it's like, and that's, I started doing these. I'm doing these podcasts and these messages, and I started running. Like, by the way, when I started running, I was like, I've run now. Well, today will be day 13, and I'm not a runner. And I didn't say, I didn't even plan it out. I think I just said the next day, I was like, I'm just going to go run today, and then I'm just going to run every day. And yeah, so it's every day you get a chance to change. There's no big thing that has to happen. You just make different choices. And by the way, when it's not easy to do the things that I'm saying, but if you want a better life, you just make different choices. That's what it boils down to. So my choice is to get up every morning. By the way, I didn't want to jump on this microphone. Like, I get up, my alarm goes off at 5:35. By the way, this morning it woke up, my alarm went off, and actually, it was before the alarm. It was 5:28, because I looked, and I woke up this morning on my birthday, and the universe, it gave me the most intense cramp in my calf that I've ever had. Like, I always have like calf cramps. Still hurts right now as I rub it. But this was super intense. I was like, welcome to 49. Wake up. And by the way, if you get those calf cramps, the key thing to do is put your foot flat on the floor as soon as you possibly can. So I literally was jerked out of a restful sleep with intense pain in my calf. So I jumped up. I jumped up and sat up and put my foot flat on the floor to stop the cramp. And but yeah, there was some damage done there. So I'm definitely going to stretch before I go running today. And but that was my wake up. It was like, hey. So, but then I was like, all right, so great. I woke up to a cramp. Life has struggles in it, and that I got to face today. I have an appointment at 11 o'clock. My solar business. My solar job. Excuse me. I got to get to 6 6 more sales by the end of this month. So there's stress on me as far as that goes. And it's like, all right, let's go. And but yeah, I didn't want to jump on this microphone. I was like, let me just skip today. I literally in my mind, I was like, I don't want to run today. Like, I definitely don't want to do that. It's my birthday. And I had all these, thoughts of negative, like I should rest. I deserve not to do. Why do I have to get up? No one's listening other than Renee and a couple people on live. Nobody cares. And so it's like, and I'm like, no, this is me. This is what I'm doing now. This is what I said I wanted to do. So let's make it happen, Captain. Let's go. Stop whining and complaining, and let's get to movement. So, with that being said, I jumped on the mic and made the proper decision, and so we're gonna go over the goals. So one of the things I do every morning is I go over my goals. Hopefully, you come up with yours. Again, I'll reiterate what a goal is. A lot of people say they have goals, but they haven't been taught how to set goals properly. And in order for something to be a goal, it has to be measurable. Means you can't be abstract. I want to be happy. I want to make a lot of money. That kind of stuff. It has to be measurable. So you'll see these in my goals in a minute. It has to have a timetable or a timeline, a time frame. It has to have a spot where it ends. Okay, so that's going to make you drive towards it. It can't be just I want to make $1 million, right? That's measurable, but there's no time frame. So it has to be measurable. It has to have a time frame, and it must be written down. Why does it need to be written down? So you can reiterate it. It doesn't change when you keep things in your head. Things move around. Things change. This is why it's good to make to-do lists. It's why it's take things out of your head. Let your head do thinking, and let your subconscious work on the problems that you have. So, thanks. I got a couple likes on my channel on the TikTok. So I'm going to go over mine right now. Maybe if you don't really care about my goals, which, why would you? Take some time and make your own. Make your own goals. Write them down and go over yours. This is just, I do this every morning for me. I do it for you to remind you to do it for you. All right. So cool. So this is actually the day one of this really, of these goals and me getting there. So I have here what I will accomplish before 50. So before 50 means I have 1 year, 365 days to hit these. So I need to, now, by the way, if you want to know, I'll divulge a little bit of myself, where I am. Like this is, these goals are pretty auspicious. I don't know how I'm going to get there. But there's that Martin Luther King quote where it's like, when you don't have to see the top of the staircase, just take the first step. I probably butchered that quote, but you don't have to see the whole thing. Just start going. So what I'll accomplish before 50. So I want to decrease my bad debt by $25,000. I want to buy $10,000 Tesla stock. Tesla stock has taken off, by the way. 2 days ago it was $340 a share, and then it went to $370, and yesterday it hit $395. And the reason I want to buy a lot of Tesla stock is because I know by 2030 it'll be anywhere between $2,500 to $4,000. So that's why I want to buy Tesla stock, and then I want to have $7,000 saved as an emergency fund. So if something like what I experienced earlier this year, where I got downsized because the company went bankrupt, I have enough money to pay bills and do things for a month or two while I search for something better, right? And then I want to raise my credit score by 150 points because credit went in the toilet once I lost the job. So health, I want to get my A1C down to 6.5 or lower. I am diabetic. I am on Mounjaro. I just took, I guess, got bumped up. So I was at average weekly blood sugar under 150. I took my blood sugar yesterday. It was 255. So we're coming down. That's not good at all, by the way, 255, but it's better than 325 and 340 and where it was. Weight down 250 pounds or less. Complete a half marathon. So most I've ever run is 10 miles in one continuous time. So that's 3 more miles than I've ever done. Bench press 315 pounds and squat 225 for 10 is got to work on the legs, as I found out as you go. So disciplines, All right, so let's make this. So today is the birthday, so let's go. Weekly budget video. So I will do that starting next week with my paycheck on Friday. Work daily on getting my income to 1,100. Excuse me, $112,347. That's what I need to pay all the bills and hit all these financial things. So working daily on that means either obviously on this podcast, I'm going to, as soon as I'm done with this, actually, I'm going to make a video to send to all the people who are going to say happy birthday to me and ask them to subscribe and like my videos and whatnot, just for the algorithm to put this out more. On all my socials and everything. So that's the next thing I'm going to do. So yeah, I'm working daily on it and make daily videos and weekly podcasts. Here I am right now doing it. Also Sunday, tomorrow, I'll be doing Cosmic Matters from 10 to 12. And we will, I forgot the topic. Well, I remember someone commented on, it's about truth. Yes. So, how do we know what really is truth? That is the topic. I'll think of a better name for it, but that's what I'm going to be going over tomorrow. And then jog every day. I've hit that one. I'm big good with that one. Gym minimum 3 days a week. I've already failed at that because I haven't got to the gym yet this week, and I only got 2 days left. So we might just have to start the week today and just go Saturday to Sunday. Saturday to next Sunday, as opposed to Monday, and then 17/7 intermittent fasting started to end at 9. Again, we're gonna have to focus on that today. So these health ones, I'm gonna start my personal year off in the right way, get the rest of them done. I've been consistent with one of these and 2 of these, and the rest of them I got to work on a little bit better. So there we go. All right. And now we got to get to I was making a joke on for everyone. Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Sorry, Renee, I didn't read your comment, but yeah. Well, here's the thing. I did a whole video on this on my channel, on the Philosophy Man channel, about if you could dream. If you could control your dreams, if you could have anything you wanted instantly, how boring that would be after a time. It would be great. It sounds like it would be great. If you could do anything you wanted, right? You'd have any kind of meal you wanted. You could have as much money as you wanted. You could, have sex with whoever you wanted to have sex with. You could have, enjoy family. You can have that people live for, like, if you could do anything you wanted, if you had the power to do anything, I called it the self gratification phase. You would go through that. Maybe you do that for, by the way, like the concept is, if you could go to sleep, understand you were sleeping, be conscious thought of your sleeping, and and then make your dreams feel like 75 years. You can make them feel like as long or short as you wanted to, and everything you wanted, you would have, you would go through, you would be excited about that for a little while, but yeah, like you just commented, you would get bored after a while, and you would want to see some adventure, and you would want to see some problems. You want to have some challenges to overcome. So the challenges that we have in life are affirmations of life, right? They're affirmations of the fact that, let me switch here. They're affirmations that we are alive and we have things to look. There was an Alan Watts video that I watched where he talked about, the universe is so big and it's still expanding. Why is it doing that? When I think of the universe, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow on Cosmic Matters, 10 to 12 Eastern Standard Time, on this channel, on the YouTube channel. YouTube. Oh, by the way, for the people on TikTok, it's Philosophy Man 76, and also I put these up onto Spotify under Cosmic Matters. But the concept is, the universe. Why is it that the fact that we're looking like I think they just found like some stuff on Mars, like they just found something on Mars. I watched this girl. I'm going to make her a part of my Sunday podcast. So I'm just going to watch one of her videos every day. It's I can't think of her name, Alexandra, Cosmic Alexandra, or Astro Alexandra, might be something like that. But she just puts out these really cool videos about what, the James Webb Space Telescope has found, and whatever is new in like the science field or as far as space goes. And the Alan Watts thing that I watched, he talked about, like, it's like, why do you think there's so much, like, why do you think it's so hard to get like anywhere else in our universe? Why do you think the universe is still expanding, and we're trying to figure things out? And we find, people who are like anti-science. I don't know how you be anti-science, but there are people who are anti-science, and they're like, look, I just had someone tell me, they're like, oh, you said that the Big Bang, the Big Bang was how the universe started, and the the latest news out there is that the universe might be older than 13.4 billion years, because they found these galaxies that couldn't be the age they are because of how we think galaxies formed. And I'm like, that's not disproving the Big Bang. It's just it's we're still discovering stuff. We don't know. Like, they're doing their best they can. We're observing this universe and going, this is some weird stuff, like quantum mechanics. Like, we look at that and we go, we don't know what's going on. Um, I was listening to Brian Cox. He's like 70% of the universe is dark energy. 20 percent of, or 25% of the universe is dark matter, which is, dark energy is like what's expanding the universe that we don't know why or where it's coming from. Dark matter is like all this mystic gravity that they don't know where it's coming from, that they calculate out. There's got to be stuff that's creating this gravity that we don't understand. And he's like, and then 5% of the universe is all the other stuff we see, like the galaxies, the suns, the stars, the quasars, the black, all that other stuff is just 5% of what's out there. So the universe is making this it's just giving us all kinds of stuff to figure out. And when we figure something out, we when we figure something out, we then have more problems. We have to figure that out. Like, there's a never ending moving of the goalposts. And but it's like things are, we're always going to have challenges. And that's because that's what the universe is doing. It does have the power to be around forever and do whatever it wants. So it gives itself challenges, me, you, and everyone, and we try to figure out these things, and we get to live our lives. And the universe enjoys itself by living through us, right? So let me read what you write in there, Renee. Yeah, of course. Okay. Well, I was just reading Renee's comment there, but I'm going to talk about this tomorrow on Cosmic Matters. But the idea of knowledge, the concept of what do we know? One of the only classes I got an A in college. You think, is it the only class I got an A in? I'm pretty sure it is. I can't remember. But one of the only classes I got an A in was epistemology, and epistemology is the study of knowledge. And I remember there was we're not even going to get to our video today, but whatever, we're just chatting. But there was a paper we had to write about how do you know, like, what is knowledge, right? And the idea, I don't remember, I can't remember the paper or the question, but it was about knowledge. And the idea of knowing something, what does that even mean? Like, it's like, how do we know anything? And this gets down to like the Descartes question. Like, the only thing we know is that we exist, right? Because everything else, if you don't know Rene Descartes, he was the guy who came up with the I think, therefore I am, right? Because his concept was, if there was an evil demon inside. It was, if there was an evil demon playing with my senses, right? It's like, because sometimes I try to see things and they're not really there. My eyes can be fooled. Sometimes I hear things that aren't real, so my ears can be fooled. You can fool my senses. So he's like, well, what if there was an evil demon that was constantly fooling me? All the things that I think I'm seeing, I'm feeling, and hearing. Well, like all the sensory inputs, I get feelings that sometimes, and I'm not really touching anything. It feels like so sometimes I know that my senses aren't telling me really what's going on. And so he's like, so if there was an evil demon fooling me all the time, how would I know anything is real? How would I know what actually exists? And what he came up with is, the only thing that I know that exists is me, because I have to exist in order for the demon to fool me. For me to be fooled, I have to therefore exist. And so that's where I think, therefore I am, came from, right? And so now he goes on, tries to get out of there, but that is the absolute knowledge, which, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm putting this in context of Alan Watts, if that's the really only thing that's real, like if we are the universe, then that's the only thing that's real. Everything else is just made up. Everything else, the universe is just created as an illusion. It's kind of funny. Actually, I'm gonna dive more into that tomorrow. So no, we don't. We The concept of hearing, or no, or the concept of hearing, like, where does hearing happen? Does it happen in your ear? No, it happens in your mind, right? So I'm hearing my voice as I'm talking, but that's, I I might not hear it. I think, oh, who was it? There was a comedian, the guy who did, what is his name? He does a really great talk on, like, guns. He's Australian. I can't remember. He does this whole thing about America and gun laws and all that stuff. And he's like, at the end of the thing, he's like, we don't really know anything. He's like, I think I'm on stage talking to an audience about gun laws, but I could be in an insane asylum, banging my head against the wall, going, I hate guns, I hate guns, I hate guns. Right? So, like, that could be what's really going on. So the things that you hear, it's not that you're actually hearing them. You don't know if the things, you only know what you're thinking, right? So the concept of you saying, like, I'm hearing things or I'm seeing things, is happening in your mind. Like, I'm seeing myself on my screens right now, but that's happening in my mind. It's not happening anywhere else other than in my head. So I don't know if I'm really seeing I don't know if these things exist outside of me. That's the whole point. All right. So the concept is, isn't that what the universe is doing? By the way, everything that we see or hear or feel aren't really those things anyway, right? Like, so I see myself, but what am I? This is just this magnification of me, right? If I look deeper into, oh, thank you. I got a gift. Wow, that's cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. If I hey, what's up, Soup? I see him on my live here. If I looked deeper inside, if I had a different magnification, me doesn't even exist. I would just be looking at cells, right? I would just, if I really zoomed in to, like, my eye, right? Is that me? So if I really zoomed in there, I would just see an eye, right? And then if I zoomed in more, I would just see an iris. And if I zoomed in more, I would just see, a collaboration of, like, neurons. And that would be me. Like, so if I zoomed out and I zoomed out to, to the moon, are you still seeing me? Like, I wouldn't, there's just all these, the whole world is an illusion, right? And what I just discovered today on my 49th birthday, as I talked about Rene Descartes, is, I think therefore I am. And the I in I think therefore I am is the universe, not this little form that's gone around the star, or gone around our sun 49 times. So yeah, anyway, I like it. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a part of me. The whole universe. I am the universe, and the universe is part of me. I say this all the time. It's the whirlpool and the river. The river is whirlpooling, and I am Matt Washington. Matt Washingtoning. I'm a human being, not a human. We are verbs, not nouns. Let's just put it that way as far as that goes. So um so I try to keep this short every morning, 6:30 to 7 o'clock. I know I've already gone people. I'm like, oh, people are just finding me, and now I'm getting ready to go. But I will be doing this for a longer. This is what tomorrow's Cosmic Matters is going to be about. I'm going to be talking about knowledge and thought, 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and then also I do put it up on Spotify, and obviously these lives are on my on my YouTube channel, Philosophy Man 76. So I do this every morning, 6:37. I read my goals. Take the time, write your own goals down, so you can you don't have to just listen to mine, but you can focus on your own. It's just a reminder. That's why I do it. And right now, I'm up every morning with Renee. He's here. Thank you. Or she. I don't know. Is Renee a he or she? I don't know. I'm going to leave it ambiguous. There's a little baby picture there. But hey, thank you again. The morning matters. I'm about to make my birthday video to send out to people, and then I'm going to go for my 13th jog, and then hopefully sell some solar and work on these goals for the next year. So, oh no, pew pew, got it. Thanks, Soup. All right, I'm signing off. Hope you all have a great day, and appreciate you. And hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow for Morning Matters. And I got 2 podcasts tomorrow. I got Morning Matters, and I got Cosmic Matters. So, all right, I will see you soon. Enjoy your day.